There we go. All right. So again, for those that are new, welcome. My name is Halia. I'm a Golden I-10 card holder. I have been with Archer and Evo for about 4.5 years now. And I'm going to be talking today about your social media pillars. Now, right before this, I did ask like where everybody is on their social media journey. Some have posted a few times, some have not posted at all. They don't know what to post. They're starting, they have a lot going on. So today we're going to talk about the not specific content like, oh, go and post this post exactly, right? But today, what I'm going to give you guys is I want to teach you guys the tools of how to create that content, what topics to talk about. So that way, you guys can build out your own social media plans based off of you and your business, okay? So we're going to talk about your social media pillars. We're going to break down the 5 content pillars that will help you guys show up consistently with purpose on social media and help you guys know, again, where to even come up with that content from, how to get that started so that way you guys never run out of ideas, right? So first we want to talk about why content pillars matter, right? We need to understand that. This is what's going to separate people who are just posting randomly and kind of all over the place from someone who actually wants to build a brand. So consistency is going to build trust with your audience. They're going to then know what to expect from you. Your content pillars are going to help you prevent burnout and again, blank page syndrome, right? So like sitting at the computer, sitting at your phone and being like, okay, what the heck am I supposed to talk about today? Like, what is going on today? What can I don't know, maybe I'm just sitting here quoting. Maybe this looks boring to you, but that could be content for you, right? We're also going to talk about the right mix of how the right mix attracts both future clients and future agents. So we are going to talk about both sides of the business here. And it's going to help you stop posting randomly and again, start building that brand, which is super important because we are small businesses and people will know you by your brand, which is going to be you, right? Your personal branding is going to be you. All right. And that's how people are going to remember you. So first we want to talk about the 5 content pillars. I want you guys to take a screenshot, write notes, whatever you need to do. These are the 5 lanes that your content will live in. All right, we're going to do a little bit of the deep dive into each one. I'm going to give a couple of examples as to each one as well. This training isn't going to take very long, you guys. We're just going to kind of go over an overview and at the end we'll open up for Q&A, okay? But we're going to go over the 5 lanes. So the first one is going to be destination and travel inspiration, then client and agent wins or testimonials, education and myth busting, business opportunity and lifestyle, and personal and behind the scenes. Okay, now I do want to give a little bit of a heads up for those that are not wanting to build a team and tap into that residual income side of the business. When you're talking about business opportunity lifestyle, that can be mixed with lifestyle, personal, behind the scenes. Those ones can kind of combine as one rather than breaking that up. Okay. But for those who are wanting to build a team, we want to break those up into 2 separate content pillars. All right. So the first one, and if you guys are ever going too fast for you, please just let me know. I will slow down. All right. But for the first content pillar, we're going to go over destination and travel inspiration. This is going to be your bread and butter. You're a travel agent, right? We're going to show the people the world. Even if you haven't been there, you can still show them what it looks like. Okay. There's plenty of different types of ways to make content without having your own pictures. A lot of what our Mexico leaders in social media basics talk about is how to be able to do that. And I believe Amy as well goes over that in the video editing trainings that we have as well. Okay. So you can still create content. You can use green screens. You can do pictures and images. You can do text. You can do so many different things without having your own pictures or your own videos as well of places all around the world. Okay. But this is going to build desire and start to position you as an expert, which we will build off of in one of the next pillars. Okay. So what is destination and travel inspiration? It is going to be, again, content that sparks that wanderlust, that desire, and shows off the destinations that you love and that you sell. So if you are wanting to focus on Disney, you don't necessarily want to post a destination content or travel inspiration of like Bali, right? Because that's not really Disney. You want to stick with what your niche is. And if you don't have a niche, start to think about what you really enjoy. What do you really love? Do you really love cruises? Do you really love all inclusives? Do you really love tropical travel? Do you really love Disney and theme parks? Do you really love adventure travel, luxury travel? What do you love? And start from there. Your niche, you guys, just because if you pick a niche from the first week, that does not mean you're locked in forever, okay, for the rest of your business, that you can only sell that, all right? That just means that that is what you want to focus on, and you are going to become the expert in that area. If you get inquiries for a freaking cruise and you want to be an all-inclusive specialist, you can still book the cruise, right? Or later down the line, maybe you want to change. You can go ahead and change, okay? So don't be scared to pick a niche. Don't think it's going to limit you. It's actually going to help you, all right? But some content ideas for destination and travel inspiration. 3 reasons the Amalfi Coast should be on your bucket list. And then you're going to give those 3 reasons, right? These are going to be really helpful posts for your audience. They're going to want to share them. They're going to want to save them. They're going to want to take their own notes, right? Beach versus mountains, which travel personality are you? You could do a cute little like picture of each one, and then you can have that conversation and engagement with your audience that will help build those relationships. Maybe a reel of an all-inclusive resort you've recently toured on a fam trip, or you've seen maybe a picture of it. What $5,000 can get you in Cancun versus the Caribbean. People love things like that because it's educational, it's inspirational, right? And it's getting that transparency up. And then pictures, photos, videos, reels of your own travels or fam trips if you've taken them once you get to that spot. Like I said, you do not have to have visited a place in order to post about it. Just share your passion, your expertise and your passion. Share your what you love to do, okay? The next one is going to be client and agent wins or testimonials. This is going to be one of the biggest trust builder pillars. Nothing is going to sell or book travel or gain agents like seeing other people's results, like seeing other people's trips, like seeing other people's results from the building side, right? This is going to include both client and agent team wins. Again, if you're not wanting to build a team and tap into that residual income, you would just focus on your client wins and testimonials, okay? So what is this? It's going to be social proof in action. It's literally telling people all the things that I say that I do are true, and here are the results for them, right? Client vacation wins, text messages from clients, bookings, right? Things like that. If they leave a review, success stories from your agent's teams. This can even show how you are credible as an agent, even if you're not wanting to build a residual income, right? That you have these resources and these people at your supporting you behind your back, right? You got them. If you don't have clients yet, what about comments from friends and family? Yeah, absolutely. Friends and family that you booked with. When I first started, I made my girlfriend, I made my best friend, I made my mom, I made everybody that I knew go and write me a 5-star review. I was like, I don't have any experience. I don't know anybody. I haven't booked any trips yet, but go write me a review, right? You guys know me, go write it. Make it sound good, okay? And I used that, and that helped me then build up the rest of my reviews, right? And then I started getting text messages from clients and things like that. So again, content ideas are going to be screenshots of messages before, after, maybe what a client was asking for, wanting, and then what you were able to put together for them. An agent on your team made a first booking, celebrating that. I just posted, I think it was yesterday, an agent on my team booked almost $45,000 in travel. So I went and posted that on my personal page as well, because that's huge. That's a great accomplishment. It also helps that agent feel celebrated, right? How you saved your client X amount of dollars on their cruise, or X amount of dollars on their Disney trip, or X amount of dollars on their all-inclusive, or how you were able to get them an extra amenity on their trip, right? And even video testimonials or a quote graphic from a fan, right? You can ask some of your clients or maybe your friends and family, hey, can you make a little video of, your experience, right? Always, 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 you guys ask for reviews and pictures of your clients' travel. These are going to be helpful in your content. It's going to be gold, right? People love to see the actual results and the trips and things like that from your clients. Now, whenever I do this, I do say like, hey, are you okay if I use these pictures on my social media? Okay. So do make sure you get that consent from your clients. Now, the next one that is also going to help you strengthen that position as the go-to expert is going to be the education and myth busting. So when you educate your audience, you start to eliminate any objections that they might have on why to work with you before they even come up, right? So this is going to be teaching your audience something they did not know, or correcting any misconceptions that hold people back from booking or joining your team, okay? So travel agents are not more expensive. Here's the truth. If you don't charge service fees, that's a great one to use, right? If you do charge service fees, you can kind of work it around, reword it a little bit. 3 things to know before booking an all-inclusive resort. Again, these are also going to be very good ones for sharing, saving, liking, all the different engagement styles that people are going to want to know about this type of trip. Why travel insurance is not optional. Give stories. It doesn't even have to be your clients, you guys. You could say, I was talking to a colleague and she told me about XYZ that happened and I just lost my mind. Something along those lines, right? Tell the story of it, okay? But it doesn't always have to be your specific story, okay? Is Bali safe for solo female travelers? Yes or no? Let's talk about it. What's the difference between a balcony and an ocean view cabin? A lot of people don't know this, right? A lot of things that may seem simple to you or, oh, everybody knows that to you, basic to you, a lot of people do not know. So even if it seems mundane to you, go ahead and post it anyways. I can guarantee somebody somewhere will find that information helpful, all right? You can also think about questions that you get asked all the time, or even questions you've had when you've been working on booking a trip on your own in the past, or even if you're working on booking a trip right now, what questions have come up for you that you've gone to research? Use those to create content, okay? That is going to be your education content that is waiting for you to just create it, all right? Now the next one is going to be the business opportunity and the lifestyle. So again, if you are wanting to build a team, this is its own separate pillar. If you're not wanting to build a team, lifestyle can be grouped in with the next pillar, which is personal and behind the scenes. But this is how you are going to attract your future agents to your team. Remember, we are all about, you guys, attracting people, not chasing people, okay? So we don't have to pitch, we don't have to sell anything. We are simply showing them the lifestyle we live and letting people choose to opt into that. And before you guys even start and say, well, I don't travel, I don't have this type of lifestyle, I don't have that type of lifestyle, I'm just at home, that is still a lifestyle somebody somewhere is wanting to achieve. Just like, and Tammy, I'm going to call you out real quick just because I see you and the baby, but just like Tammy is here on the training, learning while still being at home with her baby, this is not time that she is missing out on having to go work another job, right? That is so many moms' dreams to be able to do. Okay. Or Stacy sitting out in this beautiful backdrop with this trees, training and working in this beautiful day. So many people want to be able to do that, right? That is still a lifestyle that you are able to do by working this business. Okay. So it doesn't have to be always extravagant travels or going all over the place or anything like that. It could be those little simple moments in life that if you were having to work a 9 to 5 job 24/7, you were there all the time, you wouldn't be able to experience, right? One of my favorite things to post about with my like personal or lifestyle is literally sitting on my couch and working and being able to cuddle with my animals, my cats, my dogs. I love posting about that. Those are my favorite moments ever, right? Because before when I was working a full-time job, I wasn't able to do that as often, okay? So simple things like that too. These are going to be content that plants seeds for people curious about becoming a travel agent, how your life looks, your freedom, your whole journey. It's going to also help build the trust too, okay? People will follow you. They will join you because they believe in you. The company is great. We love the company, okay? We love the company. The opportunity is fantastic. People will join you. People will follow you. All right. So you want to show them that. So some ideas for this are a day in the life of running your own travel business. What does your day look like? I literally, you guys, on the presentation earlier today that I was hosting, somebody asked me, what does an average day in the life of a travel agent look like? And I said, everybody's life is so different. I am 20 something years, I'm almost 29 at home with my 2 dogs and 6 cats and a part-time job. My day in my life looks so different than Tammy's day in her life, who's a mom, and so different from anybody else's life. Like there's no average day, right? Everybody is so different. So it's more about how do you fit this into yours. So seeing how you fit this into yours is going to help people envision how they could fit it into theirs, right? How you turned your love for travel into a career, what it actually looks like to work from the beach. I've done that before, right? I've brought my laptop to the beach and I'm like, hey, I'm just going to go work on the beach real quick. The perks of being a travel agent that nobody talks about. Thinking about becoming a travel agent, here's what you need to know, all right? A great example for you to follow is do you guys all know who Perla is? Do we know Perla? Yes. Yes. Perla is one of our double gold and I think four-time IATAN card holder. She's an amazing leader. She's also a corporate presenter and trainer, just like I am. She's also my bestie. She has amazing content, you guys. Okay, amazing content. She does amazing content about the business opportunity and lifestyle, Archer specifically, how it all works. She's so great at explaining it in such a simple and clear way and using that as content. Find her. I actually think, one second. I'm gonna put her TikTok up or in the chat. That's what it's called. I'm gonna put her TikTok in the chat for you guys. Use her as inspiration. Okay. Now don't copy word for word what she's saying, but use it as inspiration. Say, okay, she talked about XYZ points. Let me go and recreate this in my own words, right? But she does amazing I mean, she does amazing content for everything. But those pillars of the business opportunity and the lifestyle are my favorite videos of hers. Oh, she's currently, oh yeah, those
You
times.
go
Oh,
to
no,
the
no,
mechanic,
no.
when you go
Sorry, she's live. How do I get to, babe, can you do me a favor? Can you, because my laptop's lagging, can you grab Perla's TikTok and then log into this Zoom? It's on Sarah's Zoom and just drop it in the chat. Okay, she's gonna do that because my computer's lagging. But these are, like I said, my favorite videos of hers. Okay, you guys, for these ones, you are not selling. Okay, the goal is not to sell the opportunity or sell the business. The goal is to simply share the information, share your story, and let the curiosity do the rest of the work. Okay, if you simply talk about your experience and what that looks like for you and how this business works for you, people are going to be curious. They're going to reach out to you. Okay. All right. And our last pillar is going to be the personal and behind the scenes. All right. People are not going to buy from some random travel agency. I can promise you that. Okay. They're not going to give some random travel agency their hard earned money to book a trip. Okay. They're going to buy from people they trust. So your branding, although you should have your business name and like a logo and colors and things like that, right? But your branding is you. All right. It's not necessarily your business name. Okay. This is how you are going to also build that trust over time. Okay. Now, my girlfriend went and just put Perla's TikTok in the chat. So, again, go make sure you guys look at her videos, study her videos, recreate them. Okay. But again, change them up a little bit. Don't word for word it, but you guys use that as inspiration. All right. So, this is going to be the human side of your brand. Again, people follow people, people join people. Okay. They don't join the businesses. The people will follow the people. Okay. So this could be your morning routine or workspace setup, maybe a peek at a training you're attending or a team call, or maybe you're planning your content or planning a trip, right? A little behind the scenes of that. Your story of how you became a travel agent. What has your journey been like so far? Why did you join? What were you most excited about? What are you currently learning? Okay. Maybe a travel memory that has changed how you see the world. Now, one thing that I always talk about for this example is the first time I went to Cancun, which was actually like 3 months right before I started this business. That even got me interested in looking at jobs in the travel industry in the first place. So because of that trip, I found this, right? So that is a huge thing that I love to talk about. What you and your your business partners, or what you and your family are up to this week. It doesn't always have to be business too. When we talk about personal, you can talk about, oh, the family went to dinner this week, loved this, loved that. I got to go see this weekend, right? Oh, I went to go see this movie. Show them who you are behind just your business. Okay. This is going to be what builds loyalty. It's going to be what builds those relationships. Again, gains those trust and really lets the people get to know you and who you are. So do not skip this just because it might feel a little bit uncomfortable, or maybe you want to be a super private person. You can choose what you share, right? But let people in a little bit. Let them get a little sneak peek of you, your personality, what that looks like. That will build that trust, okay? Now, I do have some action steps. Before we go into that, though, do you guys have any questions? feel free to unmute too. I know it's sometimes easier.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Do you recommend, and this is just something I was thinking about personally, setting up different social media account? Because, like, for example, my TikTok has, you know, more personal stuff, vet stuff, religious stuff, that kind of stuff. It's not travel stuff because it's
Mhm.
something I've had for a couple of years.
I actually do not. I recommend building off of what you already have than building from scratch. And if there's something that maybe you don't want everybody seeing, then you can change the visibility on the posts. Even with TikTok, you can put it to only you, which is like archiving them, right?
Right.
But I personally don't think that it's better to create a new one. And this is speaking from experience as well, because I did create new ones and then I was like, dang, I should have just kept what I had, right? Um, I think it's easier to build off of, again, what you already have than start from scratch. And just because you were posting one type of thing before doesn't mean that you can't change it, right? People evolve all the time, so you can always update it.
Right. But then would it be problematic though if I still, post or repost or whatever the personal stuff? Because then it would kind of get commingled with the travel side of things. I'm
That's
hearing
true.
conflicting things. I've had multiple people tell me yes, I've had other people tell me no. So that's why
So
I
here's
don't.
how I look at it. I use, again, what I already have and I build off of that, but I do adjust how I use the platforms. Don't get me wrong, I still consume tech content. Like I'm still a consumer, but I look at social media more as a creator, as a something I can like build off of, not just consume, but there's another word for it. I'm forgetting right now, but I can monetize off of these things too, right? Because this was something I also struggled with as well when I first started, because I had a lot of like, I'm very firm in my beliefs as a human being, so my social media reflected that, right? And so I kind of struggled with that dilemma as well when I first started. It was like, well, I'm very like confident and I believe really, really deeply in these things that I'm posting about, which really wasn't much. I would just repost things, right? But I was like, but is that more important to me than growing my business? And so I kind of had to figure that out, right? Now, personally, because a lot of my stuff was like political things. So I was like, let me kind of take a step back from that, right? Because I can still believe in those things. I can still stand firm in those things and share the things that are important to me, but I don't need to be so at it all the time, right? So that was a decision I personally made for my business. And I kind of stopped with the reposts so much. And then I think just recently I started posting a little bit more back into that. But I really wanted to build my business. So that is going to be a personal preference. Everybody's a little bit different. If you want to keep that and then create a new one, by all means go for it. Just know that it's going to take a little bit longer and it's going to take a little bit more work. That's kind of how I look at it.
I will say I'm showing my age here versus yours, but I am one of the people who firmly believes that social media is at the heart of what's wrong with most of our social problems right now. Um, so I don't post. I'm on Facebook begrudgingly, but it's mainly to look at cute dog videos, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I do plan to post and get engaged with social media for my business.
Yeah.
So I have already created, I haven't let it go live, but I have already started to create a social media presence, starting with Facebook, because I'm an old lady, that's what I know.
That's
Um,
what I started with. I
yeah,
may be
and
younger. I promise you I'm not very tech savvy. A lot of tech questions. I'm like, babe, come help me. I don't understand this. How does this work? This isn't loading. I don't know what to do. So don't
well,
don't
that
feel any,
that
don't
is
feel bad.
I'm actually pretty tech savvy. Just but I just want to be able. I don't get on social media very often because I don't care what anybody had for breakfast, and I really don't care what their political views are, if I want to
Mhm.
continue to like them. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm very passionate about my political beliefs too. So I live in an area where my political beliefs are not what are not in the majority.
Mhm.
So I need to be as neutral as I can.
Yeah.
And so for me, I made, and I don't know if this is a helpful discussion for you or not, Tammy, but I made the strategic decision to separate it out, even though I'd
Yeah.
never post personally. Um, I just needed for those things to be separate.
Yeah, I
But
agree. That's what I chose too.
everybody's different. Everybody's different. So those are just my two cents. As somebody my career has put me in my previous career put me in the public eye a lot.
Hmm.
Um, and I learned that the personal and the professional don't always didn't always mix for me.
Yeah.
But what happens for somebody else, you could build up a great clientele around your belief system. So,
Absolutely. And I know of quite a few agents who post about, like, I know, Tammy, you said a lot of religious stuff. I know a bunch of agents who post all about their religion and are very, again, firm in their faith and post what they believe in. And that is okay. Nothing is ever like, it's not wrong, right? It is just your personal preference. Like Perla, for example, will post about her faith, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It's again letting people know you a little bit, letting them see that, okay? It depends on what you want them to see, what you want them to know, right? You are fully in charge of that. So it really is a complete personal preference. Like Stacy said, I found it was easier for me and my own sanity to keep it neutral. Otherwise, I would be losing my mind. But everybody, it doesn't affect some people as much as others. So it really just depends on how your sanity is going to be at the end of the day.
No, I appreciate that, ladies. It's more of like my stuff is, it would be religion because my faith is uh, very much in,
Yeah.
who I am. And then it's also veteran because my late husband was military, and then special needs kids because I have two of them.
And those
So,
are all really amazing
right,
audiences to build with. So if those are
that's
huge
great
parts of
about
who
that.
you are, don't hide that, right? Build with
Right.
that, grow from. And if at the end of the day, like building with that is going to make you feel good about yourself and make you proud of yourself, go for it.
Okay. Thank you, ladies.
Absolutely. Melissa, I saw you had your hand up earlier.
I kind of forgot what I was going to say.
I was like, we were going
Um,
on a tangent, but I know she had her hand up.
okay. One of the questions that I had was, I, for some reason, have a problem asking people, maybe it's probably my fear of what they're going to say, but asking people for a testimonial. How do you go about doing that?
So one, if they don't say something, if I didn't have a good experience with working with the client, I'm not asking them for a testimonial, right?
Okay.
It's only the ones that I have a great relationship with, I'm good, like I'm looking for that, right? I put it in an email. Typically,
Okay.
when they return home from travel, I'll say, please take a few minutes to just write a quick little testimonial, like a review of how your trip went. Or I'll also text them, right? A lot of times, sometimes people will forget. So then I'll text them like, hey, like, how was your trip? I'll like ask them a bunch of questions. They'll tell me there. I'll take screenshots of that. And then I'll say, hey, do you mind putting that in a quick review for me for my business? Something like that.
Okay.
Remove that fear from them, right? If you want to maybe text them first and see what their responses are first before asking for them. That way you can gauge whether or not to give them the link to the review. Go for it. But whatever they say is not your problem. All right. If you know that you guys did a good job, everybody else's opinions are just whatever. All right. Use your own personal discernment to see like, is this someone I want to get a review from or not?
Gotcha. And I really haven't had a bad one, but I always think okay, I can't control what happens once you're there. Like,
Exactly.
I can't control what happens at the resort or whatever.
Exactly.
So I'm assuming that that would be kind of one of your systems to where it's a follow-up email, welcome
Mhm.
home,
Yes. For those
your
that are
test.
wondering what she's talking about, I host a Systems for Success training twice a month that Melissa has been on for a while. So she's like, I got one of your systems. Yes, I do.
Okay.
I've been meaning to organize it a little bit better. But I have in my notes, which I'll show you guys in just a second. Let me fix my screen share so you guys can see this too. So can you guys see where it says the Notes app right here? Okay, so I
Mhm.
have it called oh, whoops, I'm moving it. I have it called client emails. I have an email where I send complimentary amenities, or I request complimentary amenities from the different hotels, resorts, things like that when my clients book their trip. I have destination template libraries, destination guides, what to send after 2 to 3 days after return email, texts for this too, 30 days before trip, 7 days before trip, upcoming cruises. And so in that return email is, you can see like the link right here is share your experience, right? So I'm working on reorganizing this so it's a little bit better because it's just in my notes app right now. So that way it's also a little bit more automated too for me. I'm gonna probably put it into my CRM. So it's a little bit more automated. But that's how I do it. And I just had Claude, which is an AI platform. I had Claude write them up for me, told it what I wanted it to say, and then adjusted the tone if I needed it. And that was it. I made it super simple.
Gotcha. Okay. I had one more, but I don't
Go for
remember
it.
that. So I'll
Okay.
come back.
Okay, I see some chat, so let me open up the comments. Um, Nikki, when I organize them better, I can share them because right now, like you guys saw, it's just in my notes app, and I can't share the whole thing unless you have an iPhone. So it makes it a little bit tricky. That's also why I want to organize it a little bit better. So that way I can then share them as like templates for people to use too. Um, no, you're good, don't worry. Yeah. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions before we go over action steps? Are we good to go? Okay. So these are going to be your guys' steps from this training, your homework, so to speak, right? I want you guys to audit. Obviously, you don't have to like turn this in anywhere, right? You guys, you can choose to do this or not to do this. You are your own business owners, okay? But if we're on this training, you're taking the time, you might as well implement what you're learning. So audit your last 10 posts and see what pillars are you missing? What pillars do your content fall under, and which ones have you not gotten to yet? Then I want you guys to write 3 content ideas for each of the 5 pillars and schedule at least 1 post from each pillar this week. So at least 5 posts over the next 5 days. That gives you 1 post per day, right? For your content. Also, tag me, you guys, on whatever platform you're posting on, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Do you guys all have, I can share my Facebook, and then from there you guys can probably find my, actually, Faber, he's still in the thing. Can you join again? Because my laptop's gonna lag. Drop my Facebook, our Instagram, and our TikTok. I got her. She's gonna go post that stuff in the chat for you guys. Go ahead, add me on there on those different platforms. When you post these, tag me in the comments. Okay, I want to see your guys' posts. I want to celebrate you. I want to congratulate you. So make sure to do all of that just so I can, just for me to like cheer you on. All right, I love doing that. But consistency is going to be the key here. All right, you don't want to just post and ghost. Post, engage a little bit, and get your stuff ready for the next day. I personally like to batch content and then schedule it out a week in advance, do that weekly. Some people like to do their posts on the spot. Some people like to batch for 30 days. Find a system that works best for you. and go from there. But consistency is going to be the key, okay? The goal is going to be progress, not perfection, okay? As long as you are building that, we are good to go. All right. Now I think she's dropping them right now. Okay, perfect. So yes, my Facebook isn't in there. She's gonna drop our shared Instagram and our shared TikTok because that's what we use for our business. Um, and then are the trainings you were mentioning with Archer, the systems for success, the social media basics, and video editing are all under the corporate trainings. So you can find those in your back office. Now, convention is starting. Well, I'm leaving next Friday. A lot of our other leaders are leaving around the same time. So for the next couple of weeks, the trainings might be a little bit slower because we're all going to be at convention. But they are going to be coming back soon. Okay. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a minute or two to get those handles. Let me know when you guys are good to go. If you guys have any questions, please go ahead and ask. Just those three. Thank you. Uh, no, you're good, Tammy. Hi, baby. Hi. Stop, she's so cute. I love that. But yeah, I'll stay on for a few more minutes, you guys, while you guys are all getting those links. And then if you guys have any questions, please go ahead and ask them. Also, don't hesitate to reach out to me via social media if you guys have any questions while you're working through all of this stuff, okay? Of course, you guys. When you are posting to Facebook and engaging on Facebook, Melissa, tag your group. That's how I started to grow mine. Your dog is arguing with a squirrel. I'm dead. I see. Now that you said that, I see him in the background. That's hilarious. How long have you been doing this? 4.5 years, which is crazy to think of for me. But yeah, 4.5 years. I started January 2022. How many hours per week do you spend creating content for social media? I really wish I had that answer for you, Marco. I really apologize. I don't track it. And a lot of times I'll be out and about doing something and I'll have an idea. So I'll either like create the post right there and schedule it, or I'll write it down in my notes app and then create it later. I really don't know how many hours I spend. That's probably something I should start tracking. Alrighty, does everybody have the social links? We're all good on those? Yes, yes. I see 2 yeses. Yes. Okay, perfect. Susan Brock, I already know we're connected, so you're good. I see you all the time. Okay. Alrighty, you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next training, okay? Bye, everybody.